Hey guys, quick editor's note here. Like Riley said in the last episode, we're having some audio difficulties in these first couple of episodes. They get addressed later on, eventually move to a platform that works a little bit better for us. So this episode's a little bit rough. We have some audio issues and then also some internet connectivity issues, but just bear with us. Hopefully you enjoy. Thanks.
So, let's try this again. Hello everybody, and good brunch, especially to those in Perth, as it is brunch in Perth currently. I'm here, well, first of all, I'm Jay, and I'm here with Aiden.
Hello.
Riley. Maybe. And RJ.
Hello. Riley went AWOL.
That laughter was Riley. Hey, look, there's Riley. What is she swings in the branches?
Oh my goodness.
That cough came through
Inhaled a
so...
fly.
That cough just came through so wheezy on the mic. It was so funny. It sounded like the one penguin from Toy Story 2, I think.
Wheezy!
Yup.
His name
Toy
was
Story.
Wheezy.
Can you spot the Riley before she's gone?
Oh no.
Editor, throw a magnifying glass over this PFP.
Oh.
Yeah, editor, do that.
We open these to our PFPs.
Now-
I'm never one that records.
Now make Riley explode. And then make all of us explode.
The editor, I feel like, is just making more work for himself.
Yeah. Did we even get the last episode edited yet?
Have we?
Edited.
I have been having work issues.
No. I was not saying that as a slam. I was asking genuinely.
This is definitely meant to be shade. Well,
Definitely mint.
to calm us all down, I feel like I should introduce our topic.
Yes.
Because none of y'all have
Also
any idea
good
what it is.
brunch perf.
I have said, unless that didn't come through, unless my
They
That
said
mic.
did
that.
not come through.
I-
Oh, never mind.
Okay.
I'm deaf.
Ignore Riley. She's seen it.
Ignore me.
You can spot
Riley
her.
ignored her intro, and now we must ignore Riley. That is. It's the law of equality. No.
Editor banished Riley.
Oh no. So, like I was saying, the topic this week is what I like to call cozy media. Basically, like your comfort media. Originally, this was meant to be comfort games, and then I realized that I, as the host, don't play games enough to have a comfort game. So I literally couldn't answer my own topic. So it's comfort media.
Alright.
Which is a little bit more broad, to account for the fact that I personally really love binging shows. So my comfort media is, well, it depends on what mood I'm in, honestly. But Steven Universe is a good general one for me, as that I picked up in, like, late high school, I think it was. Like, long after the show had, like, fully come out, but before the movie and the sequel series, Steven Universe Future. And I've watched through that show like 9 or 10 times, the entire way through. That show has gone through so many different parts of my life since high school.
Right.
Actually, Steven Universe that is watching flashes of Jay's life.
Yes, it's actually kind of scary. Steven Universe knows more about me than I know about him.
Oh.
And now he's out to get you. There can
This is
only
like-
be one, Jay.
It can only be one.
It's like a creepypasta waiting to happen.
Oh no! Somebody write
I
that
was
and put it
gonna
in the
say
comments of this.
Less of a creepy pasta and more like a what is it? SCP?
Oh,
SCP Steven Universe. It's like that one episode where it's the time travel episode where there's like Steven and like a bunch of other Stevens that he created by time traveling. So they
Isn't
like start a
the
band.
image of, like, yeah, there are like 60 of them.
Well, okay, so the band was originally 4 people, but one of them was like, "Oh man, I want to write it this way," but the other one's like, "Oh man, I want to do it this way." So they like start summoning more Stevens, and there's like a whole war of Stevens.
Oh
I believe
boy.
the episode was called Steven and the Stevens, which was also the name of their band.
Even in the Stevens.
I 1 second, let me double check this, but yeah.
We're
Sounds a
not
lot like,
sponsored, by the way, so.
No, I mean,
Unless
Lord,
today's
the
podcast brought to you by
Sponsor us,
GoPuff.
Rebecca Sugar.
It was Rebecca
Let's
Sugar,
go,
yeah.
Puff.
Not GoPuff.
Not sponsored by GoPuff, by the way.
Not sponsored by GoPuff. Never again. I mean,
Maybe.
Lord. Yeah, the episode was. Oh, it was episode 22 of season 1. I forgot that was season 1. It feels like a season 2 episode. But that,
22,
anyway.
my favorite number.
Hey!
Hey, a comfort number.
Comfort number, indeed. But yeah, I have some other shows that I could mention, or maybe.
Sorry,
maybe
I'm
games,
chewing.
but-
Hold on, I'll talk more.
Unless somebody else would like to introduce their comfort media, I can keep talking.
I definitely have one. And this is gonna sound insane, and I could have a problem.
Oh, I know. They know
It's
exactly where
none
this is
other
going.
than FromSoft's video game Elden Ring.
Which is
That
really hilarious.
game is so stressful and so difficult. So many buttons. Yet when I come home from a long day of work, I want to sit down, I want to make a new character in Elden Ring, like all the other new characters that I've thrown in the trash bin and set on fire by now, and beat Toes again.
Beat Toes. You're gonna have to explain who
You're gonna
Toes
have
is
to
for those who
tell
don't know.
Somebody who
no,
Toes
no.
is.
I
Riley,
think this
you
is
need
better
to say
without
your words
context.
again.
It's better without context. Just guess who Toes is,
I don't know
and
why
no,
I
it's
can't
not
make it
fingers.
up.
Why
I
would
was
toes be fingers?
well, because the finger joke is already in the game.
Yes. Unless you're a primate, in which case they kind of have finger toes.
That
What
will
the
be
heck?
Elden Lord. One day.
Whenever you beat the game, eventually.
Hey, I did once.
What?
You've
Out of the
Out of the how many times?
I said 1,500 plus hours that I played.
Oh,
that was one time by yourself. We've also beaten it a number of times with the seamless multiplayer, seamless co-op mod.
Pardon me. Yes. And I will say the comfort in that game for me is specifically character creation. There are not many games out there that have as robust a character creation.
I remember you were complaining about Baldur's Gate 3's character creation because for as much time as people put into the character creation, it's actually not as robust as you would have either expected and or liked.
well, Aiden.
Yeah, I don't like when there's preset stuff.
Yeah.
Riley, you might need to bring your mic closer to your face or something.
I am right here. It is.
Hello.
My nose is on it.
Oh goodness. I'm sorry. I heard you were trying to say something and then you were gone.
Well, I didn't finish my thought.
Oh, got you. But yeah. Comfort game. It's the one that stresses the crap out of me. Thumbs up.
There's so many memes about that too. It's hilarious.
And little dumb animations and such.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I was dealing with a cat yowling, so if you hear him, I apologize. So mine, the first one that comes to mind for me is The Office. Pretty popular show.
Yeah.
I won't say I grew up with it, but I kind of did. I started watching it with my family like mid to late teens. And I've probably seen that show beginning to end. I think I'm on 7, so my next watch through will be my 8th time watching it. But yeah, I've seen it all the way through multiple times, and it's just one of those things where I'm like, I really need just like a safe show to watch, something I can just watch through that I've already seen. It doesn't require too much brain power, because like when you're watching something new, like you're invested in the story and the characters, so you're like paying attention to it. It's just something I can kind of throw on or just kind of, bed rot to. But I love that show a lot, and it's kind of funny actually because my first couple of watch throughs were kind of scattered, and I didn't see it technically all the way through, just because I was watching with my family, and a couple of the siblings who were watching were of different ages, and my parents are pretty protective of us, and so there were some scenes that were deemed inappropriate or some episodes that we would skip. And then going back and rewatching it as an adult, I found is very funny because I'll be like, that's not that bad. But I'm also incredibly desensitized at this point in my adulthood. So,
I was going to say, given your background, I wouldn't have expected you to have watched The Office at all until you were out of the house and an adult.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised looking back on some of it because it can be pretty crass. But there's a lot of really wholesome story in that show. There's a lot of really meaningful moments that I really, really appreciate. It's cool because, like, sometimes in the show they'll write off a character and they'll get really nice little send-offs. It's just really cool. It's like you like kind of walk through like this chunk of these fictional people's fictional lives, right? The show does a really good job at helping you feel connected with them, even if you don't realize that you feel connected to them. So then by the end of the show and the grand finale and everything, when they're kind of, concluding the whole story, because if you don't know about The Office, it's basically a show that's as if it were a documentary about a workplace, but it's a comedy. And so basically the entire show is you're looking into the lives of these people who seemingly have really ordinary lives, living, working a 9-to-5 job in an office space. And just at the end of the show, like the documentary, quote unquote, within the show ends, and all the characters kind of get their own individual endings, and some of them part ways and some of them stay at the office and whatnot. And it's really cool to just kind of be able to experience all that. So it's just one of those things where I really like to put that on whenever I need just like a safe comfort show to watch. So yeah, that's the first one that came to my mind was The Office.
That's a good one.
Who's your favorite character?
Take a guess.
Daryl.
If I do,
Daryl.
I don't know.
I'm kind of stuck between Steve and Dwight. I'm gonna say Dwight.
Okay.
What's the guy? See, I haven't seen any of The Office, right? So I don't know the guy's name, but I know his face.
By the actor's name.
Oh
my goodness!
Did you call him Steve?
I did.
I knew who you were talking about though, but the character's name is Michael.
What's the name of the guy that is messing with Dwight all the time?
Jim.
Jim. I think your favorite character is Jim.
So, my favorite is Dwight overall, but
Yes.
there is also a specific arc in which I like a character named Andy. The problem
yes.
is they destroyed his character in the show, and I know that was probably intentional because that's just part of his storyline, right? But like, it felt really weird. There was a point in the show where he was the acting manager of the branch that they work at, So he was like the office manager, and he basically goes off and is not there for like 3 or 4 months. And he comes back and he kind of like, they wrote him off to just be a self-absorbed poo-poo head. I was trying to think of a way I could phrase that. It's family friendly. He's not a great guy. He's very selfish, and it just felt very sudden for his character for him to kind of have that change, you know. But like before that arc, I really liked his character. But yeah, overall, it's Dwight. I actually have a magnet somewhere that I got that says Dwight Schrute Workplace, and I used to have it on my old computer, but I don't have a way to attach it to this one because it's mostly glass. But I have that somewhere.
Oh, fancy.
Fancy.
My favorite character in The Office was Kevin.
Was who?
Kevin.
He's pretty great.
The
I
beans.
just really like dumb character.
See, the thing that's cool about Kevin is he's really dumb, but he's also extremely genuine.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I love the name of the actor. Brian Baumgartner? Gartner?
I don't
You're talking about
remember
for
his
Kevin?
name. So...
Unless this is somebody else completely.
Well, now I gotta look.
Baumgartner, I think it is.
Brian I'm gonna say it's Baumgartner. Gartner.
Yeah, it's gonna be
Gartner.
Baumgartner.
Yeah, Baumgartner. Yeah.
It's actually really cool
Very
I like how
because
genuine he is.
after the Office was done, because I think this show stopped airing. I don't even know, sometime in the mid 2000s maybe. But since then, because a lot of the actors in that show were not well known and didn't really have like an acting career before The Office and didn't really have much of a career after. It was kind of like a one-off, like, you know, this is what they're known for and that's kind of just it. But a lot of the actors from that show have done like interviews and stuff where they talk about the inner workings of The Office and, you know, stuff that would happen behind the scenes and on set and whatever. And Brian, the actor who plays Kevin, a lot of his interviews are really cool because a lot of people expect him to be like Kevin, where he's just dumb, but like he's a very well put together guy, and you know he's got a lot of interesting perspective on the show as a whole. So it's just kind of cool to listen to him talk about their experiences with the cast and the series.
At some
Look up an
point,
interview.
I need to watch through The Office so that I understand more when people talk about it.
Well,
I do think that it is one of those cultural, like, at least as of right now, one of those cultural pieces that it is incredibly helpful to know.
yeah, I feel like it's like a couple of the big like sitcom. Well, I guess I don't know if The Office really counts as a sitcom. I guess it does, but like it often gets put in the same like tier as Friends. And I'm not gonna lie, and you can hate me all you want. This is a hill I'm willing to die on. Friends is not that funny. It is not that good of a show. All the characters are terrible. There's no likable character in Friends.
This is a hot
We are
take.
absolutely cooked. This is the end of the podcast. Good brunch, everybody.
Oh, again, I've only seen like the first half of season 1 of Friends, and I watched it with a friend in high school at like 1 a.m. So everything was funny because I was 14 and sleep deprived.
That's fair.
So
The thing for me, right? And I know I'm talking a lot, so y'all feel free to tell me to shut up. The reason why I like The Office, well, part of the reason why I like The Office is because I don't like shows that have to spoon feed you humor. And by that I mean laugh tracks. I know laugh tracks were like a huge big thing for these shows, but it's like it's almost like you're not you don't have to think about why it's funny. But like The Office doesn't do that. A lot of the jokes and the humor that's in The Office is all extremely subtle. It's all in how people react to stuff with like their faces or the lines. And like I said, I've watched this show through like 7 times now, and every single time I watch through it, I discover something new that I hadn't noticed before. And I like that. I like being able to like dissect what I'm watching and be able to like think about it and understand why it's funny or what's funny about it. Whereas like when I watch Friends, it's just like there's a laugh track and you're like, ha ha ha, that's funny. It's like having to tell you like laugh now. It's like they're holding up a sign to the audience like laugh now.
It's a cue card.
What?
Yes, cue card.
Go on.
That's the phrase that was escaping me. It's like a
I
cue
just
card.
have that marriage scene in the first Shrek movie with the
Yes, applause.
executioner guy.
Then he's like gasp. Yeah, and I don't know if you ever have time and you're bored, go on YouTube and look up Friends without the laugh track, and it is the driest stuff I have ever seen. And I'm not gonna lie, one of the characters in particular, without a laugh track, just is an absolute creep. And that
I've seen those videos. Oh my goodness, it's so weird.
It's unsettling for sure. And I actually think that Friends without a laugh track is funnier than just Friends by itself, just because it's so dry. Anyway, that concludes my rants about Friends.
I was gonna say I feel like we're getting a little far off topic, but good thoughts nonetheless, I suppose.
Well, I guess I could go for my comfort. I'm gonna go with show, because I mean I have a comfort game, right? But like, let's be real. There's not a lot to talk about when it comes to that. My
Sims.
comfort show, huh? What were you gonna say?
I said The Sims.
No, actually. Thank
Thank
goodness
goodness
you're
you're here.
But my comfort show is another piece of British media
Oh.
from the 1990s. It's a sitcom called Keeping Up Appearances. And it follows this middle-aged woman, and her name is Hyacinth Bucket. However, she doesn't think that Bucket is a refined name, so she has decided to pronounce it Bouquet.
Bouquet.
So
Beautiful. How French of her.
she comes from, essentially poverty, and wants to climb up the socioeconomic ladder. And so she married this man named Richard, who is an accountant for the council where she lives. And, yeah, it's great. It's fab. She has a gay son who, you never see throughout the entire show, but he calls to ask for money all the time. And she refuses to even think that this young man is gay. But he goes and does all these things with his quote unquote roommate. And it's fab. I love it. It's fantastic. Her one of her sisters is basically, well, she's not really a hooker. But she kind of is. Like a sugar baby type lady, just never isn't with a man, and typically a wealthy one. um one of her sisters you never see is married to a man who is constantly going through gender crisis. um and so you don't ever see it except for in one episode where you see her sister's husband walking around in a dress, um and they pretend they don't know him. um and but Hyacinth is constantly fielding phone calls from her, and the weird stuff that she gets up to. And then her third sister is married to this man who is addicted to gambling on horses and loses constantly, named Onslow. And I don't know, it's so funny. I think it's hilarious. It's really sad and really funny because it kind of reminds me of parts of my family. And it's yeah, I've watched it through like 5-6 times, and
It really is.
I will never
so
not
fun.
when I'm having a hard time. So,
Although I do gotta ask, Riley, does it have a hard track? Laugh
like
track?
a laugh track, I think it's a laugh track. However, I think the laugh track is excusable in that a lot of the comedy in there is just slapstick anyway. So, like, I don't know, it's almost cartoon-esque in a way. I wouldn't really recommend it. It's old-fashioned. It has some old-fashioned views that are not necessarily acceptable nowadays. I don't know if I would really recommend it, but it is mine. I love it. It's kind of like my trash goblin child.
It may be trash, but it's my trash.
Exactly. So, yeah. That and the Blackadder, but I'm not even gonna begin to explain that one. That one gets a little bit too raunchy for me to feel comfortable explaining.
British comedy.
British comedy.
Italian hands.
What?
Italian. The little Mamma Mia hands.
Oh, Italian hands.
Wait, what did you think I said?
Mamma Mia hands.
I thought you said Italian cans, and I'm like, what?
Yeah, Italian cans.
I'm losing it, y'all.
Man.
I was about to talk about my British comedy, but I don't think it's British. I think it's Canadian. And mind you, I think so. Like I said, so a friend of mine recently introduced me to a show called What We Do in the Shadows. And I mean, I'm watching through season 1 right now. Like I said, it's not like a comfort show, but I feel like it could be. I'll have to let y'all know when I finish it. But so far, I'm really enjoying season 1. It's truly something. For those of y'all that don't know about it, it's basically like kind of like The Office, in that they have they do the Office thing, but it's vampires living in a mansion together. It's like 3 vampires, but with like a news crew.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I find it really funny, at least.
I have seen that. It's got the guy in it. I think he was on like SNL, right? I'm gonna see if I can find his name.
I don't know. I know it has the guy that played the robot in was the voice of the robot in the Fallout series.
Fallout series.
Yeah, the one that was on Prime. The show.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Forgot a lot about that show, to be honest.
That's fair.
What is his name? Matt Berry.
That is the same guy, I think, that was the. A second, Matt. Yeah, that's the same guy that's the voice of the robot in the Fallout show.
Gotcha.
Which, sorry for everybody that knows Fallout, that knows the name of this robot, because I know they're all like part of a series of robots, and they have a name. I don't remember what they're called. I never played Fallout.
They're just foaming at the mouths. Man, we're offending everybody today. Italians,
I know,
the British, Fallout community,
Perthians.
friends, yeah, Australians.
Man, I'm sorry. This has been a like, how do I put this? Surprisingly offensive brunch.
Wanted to talk about and nice things. Here comes the three of us trumping it.
We're just like, oh man, we're really opinionated about a bunch of things.
So
Mine?
my headphones decided to give me a warning that they were about to die, and then promptly died immediately after. So I missed everything that just happened.
I did too because my internet died.
Oh no.
Oh,
It's just Jenna.
The two people who were recording got nothing.
Oh no.
Well, RJ probably got it, but I
RJ
did not.
I think RJ got it, but he wasn't here to get it, so he didn't.
yeah, the
Jay
recording
offended
probably
the
got it,
Fallout
but
people, and then we just listed everybody we offended.
oh no.
I can't wait till we watch this back. The two of y'all that missed this. Oh no.
I actually do have a comfort show.
Oh.
You need to hold that thought because your internet is interneting.
Where our internet is about to die.
Oh no.
We are professionals.
So profesh.
This is
Let
what
me
y'all
know
are
when we're
here
back.
for, right?
Yeah, we paid for really good internet for this.
Editor, make sure you cut all this out.
Lord.
Well,
You-
I mean,
I feel like you should leave it in just for that bit.
I'll just cut everything out after that.
Oh no.
No.
This whole time I was also reading up on Matt Berry's career.
Oh.
Is it interesting?
Not really.
No.
It's just going through the wiki, and not a whole lot to report, to be honest.
Mm.
I mean, there's a lot there, but none that is relevant to me, I think.
That's valid.
That's fair. That's fair.
Are we back?
Sort of. Ish.
Are we so back?
No, we are not so back. We are very
Oh.
much not Bobo.
We are not Bobo. I feel like at this point we might want to cut this part.
Oh yeah, we're definitely cutting this
Oh,
one out.
no.
Lord.
No,
Riley's
just make the
somewhat
whole
back.
podcast us silent.
just
Okay, I
just
think
the
we're
silence.
Yeah.
Are we
Oh,
back?
yes.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I have a comfort show.
Yes.
And that would be none other than the early seasons of Lego Ninjago. I
can
watched
see
it
that. Okay,
religiously.
Your
I
elemental power
laughed,
is
times I
green.
cried. That was also a fun movie. The one thing about our house in particular, it wasn't very encouraged to watch. We still had the freedom to. It was just occasionally, uh, yeah, there are probably better things that.
Lost you.
Oh no.
Occasionally, what?
Occasionally, there were better things be doing, is what we were told, than watching a child's TV show. And funny enough, we were children while watching it. You know,
Yeah.
That's fair.
the child can't watch the child show. That's for children. Do more adult things,
Unfortunately,
like Lincoln Logs.
oh yes. The last time I played with Lincoln Logs, I was 6, I think.
I was much older.
But
I was
Your
also
time to be
homeschooled,
a
so-
child is over. It is time to build. But yeah, that's what I got. It's got some good teamwork. It's got some really good feels. Just nice, family friendly show.
Yeah. What about music? Does anyone have any comfort music?
Yes, I listened to Paul Simon's album Graceland. That is my comfort album of music.
Paul Simon.
Is he from
He's-
the Beatles?
One half of Simon and Garfunkel.
Oh.
He's the Simon part.
I thought he was the Garfunkel part.
I thought he was yeah. Oh no.
But it's I don't even know how you would I don't know what genre his music would be.
Let's see.
What does the internet describe?
A blend of folk and rock.
I
Folk
would
rock.
not call it rock even remotely.
Well,
Global
early rock.
fusion, yes.
Not like metal, but like classic rock.
But the Graceland album doesn't really sound like rock. Zydeco, yes. South African music, yes, because those are like that's what he used. As I mean, there's not really rock does not feel correct. That is not correct.
I mean, the Beatles were also classified as a rock band.
Yeah, but it doesn't even sound remotely like the Beatles.
Well,
Like,
I'm
it
not
doesn't-
saying.
I mean, like, I know classic rock. That's basically all I listened to as a kid because that's what my mom listened to.
Mhm.
And it does not. I don't know that it.
Does not.
Unfortunately, I can't help you because I'm really, really bad at IDing genres of music outside of metal. Because metal, I feel like, is very obvious when it's metal.
Yeah.
Until you dive into all the subgenres.
Oh, well, we aren't going to talk about
Yes, we are. All right, so
Okay.
World
just kidding.
beat makes sense. World
Uh,
beat makes sense, but
Yeah.
not straight up rock. Anyway, that's mine. I will listen to the Graceland album when I'm sad, when I'm working, when I'm cleaning, when I'm period, just existing.
Cavetown is my favorite band, and I will listen to them basically anytime, whenever. But I think they're classified. One of the classifications I saw one time for them was bedroom pop, which I feel like gives the wrong implication.
It does.
Like, I understand why they call it that. Don't get me wrong. I get where the idea comes from. However,
Yeah.
I can be taken the wrong way so quickly that I hate calling it that.
Y'all remember the CBAT memes?
Oh my goodness.
Seabat?
Yes.
What?
I'll show you after we're done.
Oh. I'm scared.
That is bedroom
It's-
pop right there.
No. Oh my.
Beep, 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 beep. Um, for me, music is kind of tricky because I don't really have like a favorite artist or a favorite song or anything like that because my taste in music changes so abruptly. And I have a massive collection of music that I listen to. I mean, I listen to thousands of artists, most of which I couldn't tell you the name of, even if I tried. Because I usually listen to my music on like a song to song basis. So, like,
Yeah.
I may like a song from an artist and not like any of their other music. But I think a comfort music for me would probably be I think it's Dark Before Dawn by Breaking Benjamin. Yeah, Dark Before Dawn. That was the first CD I ever bought for myself. Man, I feel old saying that. If you know what a CD is, drop a comment. I don't know. But
There's never a CD.
yeah,
Man,
I
that's
still have it
wild.
somewhere. But I mean, I would when I got my first car, I would pop that in there, and just that's all I listened to when I would drive. So that's an album that I like to go back to every once in a while. It's kind of a comfort thing.
The song Ashes of Eden is on there. That's a good song.
Yes, I remember I shared that with y'all. That's
Yes.
probably that's probably my favorite out of that entire album. It's cool.
I remember when I would slap on a CD that had Mozart in it, and I would vacuum with a CD player of Mozart. The CD player was in a stocking cap and on top of my head because I didn't have a pocket big enough for it.
Yeah, yep. I remember those struggles if you didn't have a CD player with like a belt clip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess that's kind of the issue that Walkman addressed back in the day. That's even older though, before they started making CD players. But yeah, I had a similar issue. And then like if you would bump the CD player, sometimes it would like skip or like restart the song.
Yes, my goodness.
I'm
Oh.
not gonna pretend to understand.
Old problems.
I am the youngest person here. I want that to be known. I understand what all of these things are, but I have not experienced any of them.
Go ahead.
The closest I get is I didn't have like a quote unquote pocket sized CD player like the ones y'all are talking, like the ones with the belt clips. The only one that we had was like a boombox at our house.
Mm-hmm.
And so every once in a while, I would hit, like, if I wanted to listen to music back before I had like iTunes or anything, I would bring up the boombox, set it in my room next to my desk, and plug it into the wall beside me, and like have like one ear cup on while on Skype, and listen to music from the boombox on the floor.
That's awesome.
I love analog technologies and the way we used to use them.
Y'all remember the earbuds back in the day? You would plug them in, and as they'd age, they would like stop working in one ear unless you twisted the cable the right way.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you're just trying to get stereo music, and so you're sitting there and you're flailing this cable around, you're bending it, you're like, why don't you work? And you'd find that sweet spot and be like, yes, and then it would bend a little bit and you're like, no.
Yep.
Yes.
I used to go to sleep to a Baroque music CD. And like when I was like 11 or 12, right? Cuz I've been going to sleep with something going on ever since I was little, you know. And when my headphones started dying, I could not go to sleep because I needed my music in order to go to sleep, and my headphones just wouldn't. I would like wrap it around the CD case or the CD player to try and get something and bend it, and finally I would lay as still as possible so that I could try to sleep. And it was horrible. I hated it. I begged my parents for new head point, which thankfully, they gave me because they were like, "Oh yeah, you need headphones for school, so go for
Not
it."
even for sleep, for school.
Well, I was not supposed to be listening to stuff while I went to sleep at the juncture that I am talking about.
I mean,
Um,
fair.
so
Was this at the same time I started listening to horror book?
to what?
A horror book?
One more time, get closer to your mic, bro.
A horror book.
Why were you? Oh, yes, it is.
Ah, gotcha. I was listening to stuff of horror while I slept.
Actually, I think it was before that.
Ah,
I was like
you did do
10
that first.
or 11.
Yeah, that's a couple years before I did.
Like this was when we lived in Oklahoma. So
It's a while
Anyway.
ago then.
yeah, it was a long time ago. I actually had to stop wearing earbuds for a long time, for like a year, because I had been wearing earbuds to bed, or things in my ears to bed, since I was like 11. And putting anything in my ears or any pressure in my ears would cause me excruciating pain, and I learned that if you wear earbuds too long, your ear canals will collapse.
Well,
Oh.
that sounds like fun.
Yeah.
Well,
So don't wear earbuds for more than 8 hours a day,
oh,
over and over and over and over and over
No.
again for 10 plus years.
so I may or may not wear my earbuds all day, every work day.
But you don't wear them to bed, so you get some rest, right?
Yeah.
Oh no.
No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. No, I only
Okay.
wear the in-ear ones at work, and then whenever I'm home, I swap to the over-ear. Now I
You
used
should be
to,
fine then.
because before I got this specific headset that I have, I would use my earbuds on my computer at home as well. But it's fine. My hearing's already damaged enough. You know,
You'll be fine.
what's a little bit more deafness?
I mean, if it
Even
makes
more-
you
What?
Riley,
even more deaf.
Even
you
more
cut out at deaf, so it was just even more.
It's the worst
But-
joke, except it was real.
The funnier, what makes it even funnier to me is the fact that Riley and Jay were both talking at the same time and then both stopped simultaneously.
Well, I heard Riley starting to talk, so I stopped talking, and then Riley cut out.
Just the timing was just so worth it. That was so funny.
Oh, our tech issues.
I was
Random
gonna say,
side note. Go ahead.
if it makes you feel any better, RJ, I don't wear ear protection at work, so I'm just getting like jet noise in my ears like all day, every day.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's not
yeah.
great.
No. Anyway, side note, you were saying.
Oh, yes. I found the specific brand and or model of earbuds I used to prefer back in the early 2000s. And man, what a throwback. They are the JVC gummy earbuds.
Yes.
like I went through so many of those earbuds because I used them so much. Because I was an emo child, and
You were an emo boy.
and I would plug up my ears as often as my parents would allow me to, and so I went through a lot of these earbuds because they constantly broke on me, but like they were relatively cheap. I think they were like $15 or something like that. So I was just constantly having to restock up on these earbuds.
Some of the more comfortable earbuds available on the market too.
Yeah. At the time, I couldn't do like the ones with like the little tips that would actually go in your ear canal because they just
Yeah.
wouldn't stay in my ears. And now I kind of have the opposite problem where like they have to, otherwise they don't fit. So
Ain't that the way things go?
yeah, I'll put a picture in the Discord later so we can add it over the recording if we want to.
Hello.
Well,
Goodbye.
First, we need
Ooh.
the highlights.
Ah, yes,
yes,
the
the
highlights.
highlights.
The highlights.
This broadcast was brought to you by SCP Steven, Toes, Genuine, Laugh Track, My Trash, Full Offense, Wi-Fi, Simon or Garfunkel, Rock, Pop, Old, Oh no! And last but not least,
You cut out.
Last but
No,
not
that
least,
was
what?
intentional. No, that was intentional, I think.
No, it wasn't.
Was it
what?
not?
Thank you for listening. How much of that did we get? Because I looked
Cut
down
out.
and it's
Whole list except for what?
Oh,
No,
last but
I
not
got-
least, what? Thanks for listening.
Was the funniest timing ever. Last but not least,
I thought that was intentional.
honestly, that's so fitting for this episode. Oh my goodness.
I should name the episode Comfort Tech Issues.
Oh,
Really funny.
Happy brunch, Perth.
happy brunch, Perth. Thank you, everybody
Goodbye.
else, as well. Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.